So let's talk about the truth of tips when driving for Uber or Lyft and a video that's circling where someone was tipping $200 cash per ride on this episode of Real Rideshare Stories. Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories. On this channel, we do a lot of different things within the rideshare industry, whether it be tips and tricks for both passengers and drivers, as well as what happens outside the vehicle with bad driving compilations, but mostly what happens inside the vehicle on actual rideshare rides. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Before we get started, if you have a crazy Uber or Lyft experience, whether you're a passenger or a driver, record it, send it my way, and maybe we can feature you on the channel. So Uber and Lyft are part of the service industry. The gig economy, yes, but it's still a service. And that service gets you from point A to point B in a quick, usually clean and inexpensive way. So let's talk about the reality of tipping when driving with these services. Again, it's a service. So if you think drivers get tipped well and tipped often, the reality of the situation is it's not true. Tips are few and far between in most circumstances. Yes, tips do happen, and it's always appreciated when they're given. And a big thank you and shout out to all those passengers out there who do tip, and an even bigger shout out and thank you to all the people who tip well. So let's talk about why to tip at all. So number one, it's a service. Just like a waiter or waitress, a bartender, a hairstylist, etc. You're getting from point A to point B safely, quick. It's inexpensive. Number two, Uber and Lyft don't pay their drivers the full amount that you pay. It's a much smaller percentage. And it's usually just enough to provide an income for whatever the driver needs it for. People are hustling out there, and this is just a good way to make money on your own time. So people are doing this not necessarily because they want to, but they have to, maybe because extra money, whatever it might be. But yeah, Uber and Lyft don't pay their drivers a great wage, and you don't get the full percentage of what you pay as a passenger. Number three, you're in our vehicles, which are cleaned and they're well maintained for your convenience. So we pay for the repairs, the service, and also we put our time into keeping our vehicles clean. So that's, washing the outside, keeping the interior clean. When other people make messes, you got to clean it up. So time and money is spent making sure your ride is good. Number four, drivers are out trying to make money, like everybody else. And we don't know what that money means to them. So when it comes to a tip, that money could be used to, for their family or for paying off a loan, or, maybe they're in between jobs, whatever it might be. I don't know. But whatever it is to that driver, a tip is going to go a long way for them and definitely help them out. And number five, it's nice and it's appreciated when it's done. So one of the quick things is always to make sure you tip your drivers, because it usually means more than you think. So this brings me to a fun little point. Now let's talk about this video of Dylan from the Rideshare Hub, which is another YouTube channel, going on Uber and Lyft rides, where he actually tipped 3 different drivers, each $200 in cash. It was a really cool video to watch. And if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you click the link in the description below. Go check it out. One of the cool things is, you see 3 different drivers. You kind of get their story when it comes to tips and a couple of different things, just maybe within their life. And at the end of the ride, Dylan hands them $200 cash as a tip. Very phenomenal way to kind of just make awareness for tipping, as well as, helping somebody else out. All 3 of those drivers had a crazy reaction to it, where it was just very fulfilling, very nice to see. So I did want to bring up that point because it's one of those feel-good moments, and it's always appreciated when people do tip, and when people go above and beyond to tip, it's just always a great thing. Also, a quick thing, Dylan, if you're ever in the Buffalo, Niagara Falls area, shoot me a comment, let me know, and I'll make sure to be your driver. I know that doesn't happen all the time, but still, it was a really cool video. So if you haven't checked that out yet, make sure you go over to the Rideshare Hub, check out that video. I'll also put a link in the description below where you could go check it out right now and watch that video. So that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys got a good perspective when it comes to tipping and the lack of it. Again, it is very appreciated to all drivers when you do tip as a passenger. It definitely helps get their goals to where they want to be quicker. So maybe they can spend more time at home. Maybe they can spend more time with their family. Maybe they can not worry about bills or help alleviate a little bit financial stress, whatever it might be for them. So make sure you always do tip your drivers. Just a little public service announcement. Also, make sure to check out that video that I was talking about where Dylan was tipping $200 in cash to 3 different drivers. Really great video and a really good feel-good video as well. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications if you haven't already. As always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.